And what I have coined or put together here is what has worked for me by taking from everybody else, but tailoring it to what has allowed me to be the success that I am today. And I want to share that with you because it has a local flavor. Because when I talk about going to see a client in Barrack 4, you all will understand what that means. Rather than somebody saying they went to Wyoming or Tennessee, I probably have never been there. So I want to bring it closer to home so we can identify with it. And these are my 5 keys of getting everything that you want in life. The first one is have a clear and specific goal. Why? If I have something to aim at, it will create a sense of focus, one-pointedness, and the purpose in my life. That goal that you must set for yourself, it must be clear and specific, simply because if I can see it, then I can achieve it. If there's doubt, if it's vague, I may not be able to identify with it. I may not be able to plan towards its achievement. So it must be crystal clear in my mind what it is I want to achieve. So having the clear and specific goal is very, very important because it gives you something to aim at. It gives you something to believe in. It gives you something where you can have a sense of purpose, focus, and direction. So having a clear and specific goal is very important. And clarity is power. Once it's clear in my mind, once there's clarity, once I'm absolutely sure that this is what I want, there's nothing better than that. And once you are clear about what you want, this is what happens. When I have that intention of what I want to achieve, immediately what happens is that the universe conspires with us to start putting things in place so that you can achieve your clear and specific goal. So not only must you have it, you must also be able to write it down. So it moves from mental to physical. When I begin to write it down, what am I doing? It's one step closer to it becoming a reality. And the next thing I need to do is to affirm it. Speak it out into the consciousness. Speak it out into the universal energy. And this is what will happen. Everything starts to work towards it being achieved. All the things that are necessary for you to achieve, the consciousness is going to bring it to your table. Are we okay? So clear and specific goal is very important. That's step number 1. Know the reason why. The why of what you want to achieve is very important. It's probably the most important of the 5 steps. Why? Now, it could be that the why is that you may want to get a new car, you want to make money, you want to have a new home, you want to have a good family life, as so many of the agents said. The why is important because the why will tell you the must in doing it. If I know why I want to do this, it will give me the fuel, the energy, the staying power, the stamina to go the distance to achieve the goal. If this is not powerful enough, if it becomes a should and maybe, then you will not have that staying power to achieve it. If it is a must, if it becomes like your life breath, your dream of which you cannot exist without, then you will have to go the distance, you will have the fueling power to stay the distance to achieve your goal. So knowing the reasons why you want what you want is important. And each one of us, we have different reasons why we are in the business. A lot of us are in for money, some are in for family, some are in for prestige, and so many different things. But you must know the reason why. This is very important. This is what will fuel. You see, if it's a should, you may take action in the short term, and then that encouragement, that enthusiasm is going to dissipate. If it is a must, if it is something that you're really passionate about, you're going to have the staying power to achieve the goal. So the drive is important. That is what will fuel your energy towards the achievement of your goal. So know the reasons why you want to achieve that particular goal. The third step, take massive action. That's a very important word, massive action. Do whatever it takes. Do it regularly. Do it whether you like it or not. My dear fellow agents, look at all the people that have been successful in their lives. In every aspect of society, be it sports, be it tennis, be it music, whatever it may be, this is what they did. They did whatever it took for them to be a success. Take, for example, somebody like Brian Lara. Did he become a success overnight? Every single day, 4, 6, 8 hours of practicing in the nets. Serena Williams, who is considered now the greatest ever lawn tennis player in the history of the game. Even at this pinnacle of her career, she continues to practice and master her game because she says, there's so much more that I still need to learn. So do whatever it takes. So whatever your plan of action is, you have to do whatever it takes to allow you to achieve your goal. And in terms of the business, some of you all may want to achieve convention, MDRT, money, whatever it may be, but you've got to do whatever it takes to achieve that. And that will tie into your plan of action. But doing whatever it takes is not the only thing that is necessary. You have to do it regularly and consistently. The hallmark of success is somebody doing the same thing over and over consistently. Do it whether you like it or not. You know, in the beginning it might be difficult, isn't it? You have to build up that stamina and energy to go there and see 18, 20, 25 prospects for the day. It might be difficult, the rain might be falling. You might have gone to a carnival fete and you can't get up the next morning. But that drive and passion that you have, if you could do it whether you like it or not, to the point where you begin to like what you have to do. One guy said, happiness is liking the things you have to do and not doing the things you like to do. But if I change my mindset to like what I have to do, then I'll be liking doing what I like to do. So again, it's a mental attitude, it's a mind shift that should take place within ourselves. Are we okay? So do whatever it takes, do it regularly, do it whether you like it or not. And if you know you have to do it, isn't it really good to adjust your mindset to learn to like it? Because you have to do it. This is important. You are rewarded in public for what you do in private. People may see somebody win Unit of the Year, Agent of the Year, qualify for MDRT. They may see them in terms of the public, but they have not seen the hours, the days of perspiration and sacrifice and commitment that allow them to achieve that greatness. And this is what happens when you practice the 3 principles from before. Take massive action. That's a very important word. You will have to decide what action that is. Monitor your results. This is very, very important. How many of you all know about the 2020 cricket? You all are familiar with that? If a side makes 99 runs, the other side has to make 100 runs to win, isn't it, in 20 overs. If I divide 100 by 20, that side needs to score at least 5 runs per over. Good? So monitoring your results is like this. You've set yourself, you are here, you know where you want to be, you have a plan of action. So if we use the example of one-day cricket, I am here, the 100 runs is there, I have 20 overs to get it. So with every over, I must have at least 5 runs. Is that okay? So if after 10 overs, I monitor my results, and I see that whether, if I'm at 40 runs, I needed to be at 50 runs. So monitoring my activity and results, I noticed that there is a variance. And the variance could be negative or positive. If I'm supposed to be at 50 runs but I'm at 40, then that variance is negative. So what do I need to do? As you begin to monitor your results, you then have to do something in the next 2 or 3 overs to get back in line with your run rate. So monitoring your results is very important. Tracking your performance will determine how successful you'll be. Rather than, for example, if you know that for convention purposes, I need to do $100,000 API a month. That will give me 1.2 million and I could qualify. If after 6 months, I'm supposed to be at 600,000 and I'm at 500,000, I have achieved that because I was tracking my performance and monitoring my results. And then the next step that we're going to deal with will tell you and show you what you need to do to get back on track, to be in line with the achievement of your goal. So this is very important. And this could be done daily, weekly, monthly. If you allow it to pile up too close to December, what can happen? You can put yourself under a lot of pressure. And pressure is burst pipe. As we know, in December, you see agents running helter-skelter like headless chickens trying to get an API here in order to qualify for convention. But if you follow this structured, scientific, well thought out and proven plan, in December you will be sailing. You could spend time with the family. You could go on a little Christmas cruise because you have achieved your goal, because you've planned well. So monitoring your results is important. As a result, make sure that what you're doing is leading you where you really want to go. And if it's not, the next step will take care of it. If you're running east looking for a sunset, it doesn't matter how committed you are, you won't get there. Because what you're doing is not in alignment with your goal. You're never going to run east to find a sunset. Where will you find the sunset? West. Are we okay? The last step. Change your approach when necessary. So people, 3 wickets have fallen. West Indies, instead of being at 50 runs, they are 40 runs now. A wicket has fallen. Who do you send in? You have to send in somebody like Chris Gayle, Bravo, Pollard, because they can up the scoring rate. So similarly, in your particular business, you need to change your approach because whatever you're doing is not working for you right now. You need to do something different to get back on stream. So instead of seeing 6 people, I probably need to see 10 or 12. You need to create a different strategy if the previous one is not working for you in order to realign yourself back to your goal. Yes? So if Chris Gayle comes in or Dwayne Bravo comes in and in 1 over they hit 25 runs, wow, we're back on stream. We may be now in a positive variance because we have exceeded the run rate. Are we okay? So change your approach when necessary. Now sometimes this requires a lot of courage and inner strength and resilience to do it because some of us are so caught in a particular habit we can't get out of it. We can't see beyond the fishbowl, but we need to jump out and then see the bigger panoramic picture of what is available out there. And that is where you come in, to do what you need to do to get where you want to be. If you are taking action and it isn't getting you where you want, as we said, you need to change your approach. Yeah? And after you've practiced all of those 5 steps, what comes to you? Success. Could you imagine at the end of December they are announcing your name? Trisha, you've double qualified for convention and you're going business class. How are you going to feel? You know what it is to travel business class from here to Morocco? They give you a little apartment on the plane, you know, with a own personal hostess, where you could decide what you want to eat, where you want to eat, how much you want to eat, and they're at your beck and call. Now all of that is within everybody's reach, isn't it? So Do you all feel that this is something that you all could work with? So, without going back on the board, let's just recap. What is step number 1? Have a clear and specific goal. Why, Simon?
Because then you would actually, you can focus on what your objectives are and then break it down.
Okay, you can
Set a goal
focus.
to start with.
Okay. What's his next step?
The
The reasons why. Curtis, why is that so important?
Because, I mean, to know where you want to end up, you have to know how to get there. You have to have something to motivate you to get there. You can't just, otherwise you wake up in the morning, if it's raining, you won't go out, you won't be motivated. To keep that fire burning within you, you must have that specific thing that will keep you pushing, no matter what.
Regardless of what. Very good. What's the third one, Nisha?
Take massive action.
Right, what does that mean? What is taking massive action?
Do it regularly. Do it whether you like it or not, or do whatever and do whatever it takes.
So once you've set that plan of action of how you want to achieve your goal, you have to apply those 3 principles to it. So if I say to myself that every day, because of I want to achieve MDRT or convention, I need to see 8 to 10 people per day. Yes? Do whatever it takes. That's my plan. Whatever happens during that day, I must achieve this. And I must achieve it not only one day for the week. It is my plan to do it 5 days. I must do it consistently, regularly. And some days I may not want to do it. I may not like to do it, but you've got to push yourself to the point where you could learn to like what you have to do. Yes? One of the finest MDRT presidents, a guy from London, and his name is not coming to me now. He gave a talk to the first time attendees at MDRT, and you know what he said? In order for him to succeed, when he took massive action, he told his wife, this was his strategy, he told his wife that I am not coming home until I make 1 sale. And he said this has to happen 5 days a week. He told his wife that. There were days he would be home at 8:30 in the morning because he made the sale early, and there were times he would be home at midnight because the sale came late in the night. But hell or high water, he made his sale every single day. That is the kind of tenacity and the struggle and the courage and the stick-to-itiveness that we need to develop as agents to be successful. There's no easy way to success. It's basically hard work and going back to our basics. Yes? What's the next one? Monitor your results. Dave, how important is that?
It's important to know where you stand, where you want to go. On the chart, you want to be halfway. You want to be halfway at the halfway line. So if it's a year, you want to be halfway there and not quarterway there, so you know how much more work, how much more actions you need to take in case you fall.
Right, excellent. And then the last point is change your approach. If something is not working for you, you need to develop another strategy. You need to be innovative. You have to try something different to get you back on track. Yes? Normally the people in the 20 overs, what they do, because you have those first 2 or 3 overs with the field limit in a particular way, a lot of teams, they have the strategy of blazing a trail in the first 4 overs. Why can't we do that in our industry? Why are we allowing things to pile up in the month of December? Blaze a trail in the first 6 months. Why can't you do 75% of your production in the first 6 months? And by November, you would have qualified and achieved all your goals because of that strategy. So we need to do things differently in order to achieve different results. So is this helpful for you all?
Yes.
Of course. Now, what we need to do, people, successful people, they do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. There is no rocket science in it. It's just to go out there, as Nike says, and do it. Stop the talking and let your actions speak. 1 ounce of practice is better than a ton of preaching. Yes? And people will be inspired not by what you say, but what you are and what you do. So, are there any questions? There were some other things we needed to share, but maybe at another time. Any questions or contributions before we wrap up? Okay, I'll leave it to this quote. This quote was given by Nelson Mandela in a talk that he gave many, many years ago, and he spoke about our deepest fear. I feel you all should write it down. Frame it, memorize it, affirm it, believe it, and become it, and you'll see what you can achieve.